joining in with us today. We're really excited to be here, and today we have a special for you where we have the entire team coming in and sharing all of our experiences and journeys of change. And I'm very excited to hand this over to Sanjana, who's going to be moderating our entire session. Sanjana is our networking HR lead, and she does some really amazing work. So over to you, Sanjana, and thank you so much for taking us through this session.
Okay, thank you so much, Garvita. Good evening and a very warm welcome to all our panelists and all our viewers. Today, in the fifth edition of Hopeschooling, launched by Y-Waste, we will be celebrating the World Environment Day with all the team members of Y-Waste, and we will be discussing about how important it is. He has attended events like DreamHack, world's largest digital festival. He also has a state level proficiency in Taekwondo. Welcome, Neil. Our third panelist for today is Richa. She is the Chief Marketing Officer at Y-Waste and is also the co-founder of Changemaker Society. Richa oversees the marketing decisions at Y-Waste. She has done a senior diploma in Kathak and is also a theatre artist. Today also happens to be Richa's birthday, so a very warm happy birthday to you, Richa.
Thank you.
Our next panelist is Akshay Karnive, who is the Chief Technical and Design Strategist at Y-Waste. He is a technology enthusiast who is the Director of Collaborations and Events at Y-Waste. He handles potential and existing collaborations with like-minded organizations for working towards a more sustainable future and is currently pursuing bachelor's degree in electronics and communications. It's great to have you here, Akash. Our next panelist is Gaurav Jain, who is the logistics head at Y-Waste. His initiative to help citizens of Chennai by visiting their houses during water crisis and educating about rainwater harvesting has been very successful. He is also pursuing his bachelor's degree in electronics and communications. Welcome, Gaurav. Next, we have Gaurang Rao, who is the content and editorial director at Y-Waste. Gaurang loves learning and meddling with computers. Gaurang handles blog posts for Y-Waste and did a storytelling session for young children on sustainable stories. Gaurang has learned tabla for over 5 years and enjoys writing. It's great to have you here, Gaurang. Last but not the least, we have Abhinandan Singla, who is the Director of Media Relations at Y-Waste. As a young environmentalist, he believes that youth should work towards stream the video.
So last Monday, I decided to call for an Ola. And guess what? When the driver came, not only was he wearing a proper mask, but he had even disinfected his car. Quite impressive.
With Ola's 5 layers of safety, every car is cleaned before each ride. Drivers are always wearing masks and have regular temperature checks.
Okay, so before we move on, I request Garvita to talk a little about why waste and its journey so far.
Operations, change the way universities think about research, and so we're
Yes,
delighted
thank you
to
so
work
much,
with you on that. You asked also
Sanjana,
what we're
for
learning.
the
So what we're
introductions. I'm
learning,
so
what the
excited that
research agenda
everyone
is.
could come
Just
together for this
since the
webinar.
first World
And because
Environment
we
Day,
could
we've
not
learned
speak too
so
much
much.
about
Let me
Sanjana,
just
I just want to
suggest a few
also
things
add on
which
that
now
Sanjana
some of
is
which
an
sound
amazing
obvious,
changemaker
but
herself,
they
and she has
certainly weren't
accomplished so
obvious when
much,
we
and her
had the
initiative
first
is just
World
wonderful, and
Environment
she's
Day.
just a
First,
brilliant
we
person to
used
have
to
on the
believe there
team.
was
So
a
thank
big
you, Sanjana,
trade-off
again.
Thank you,
between
Sanya.
Of course,
protecting
thank
the
you to
environment
everyone on the
and
panel
economic
today with
development.
us.
We now
I
know
think the place
that
that
is
we've reached
not
today
true.
would be
Smart
impossible
environmental
without each
policies
and every in the
pressure
water that
is
we
now
leave
so
behind
great
in glasses at
from
restaurants. And
human
that
activity that we
number
actually
completely
need
shook
something
me, and
more
I wanted to
sustainable.
do
I mean,
something
just
about it.
think
I
since the
had been
first
reading a
World
lot about the
Environment
water
Day in
crisis and learning
1970.
a lot about it, but there really wasn't, a specific thing that I really wanted to change, or there wasn't a specific thing that triggered me to want to do something myself. And a very strong believer of be the change that you wish to see in the world. I decided to, just go out there and try to do something myself. And it was really difficult in the beginning because, as a 15-year-old, just gathering a couple of friends, trying to go to restaurants and talking to them about the problems wasn't the easiest thing, to do, because everyone has their own opinions and no one really wants to take advice from young people. With NREI and a lot of other organizations, and apart from that, also the wonderful volunteers that we've had, join us from across the country. And very proud to also share that this initiative of the glass half full is now going global. So that's very exciting. And beyond that, over the past 2 to 3 years, I've been able to build this beautiful team with all of these beautiful people. I think we started out with Richa, Sanjana, and Akshay, and then we had everyone else slowly trickle in over the past 2 years. But it's been absolutely wonderful that we've been able to do so many more initiatives across so many more cities, states, continents, even. And we've actually been able to save 5 million liters of water, prevent 5 million liters of water from being wasted, and impact almost 2. Spend time with all of these people every single day, working and building on solutions. So I hope that answers your question, Sanjana.
Thank you so much, Garvita. I think it's beautiful, the journey that you started, and when we all joined, I think we can all proudly say that we are really happy to be a part of Why Waste and to be trying to change everyone's mindset and trying our best to protect our natural resources. So I think it's an amazing journey we all have had this far, and I'm pretty sure that we'll continue to do great things. So let's begin with our panel discussion. So for our first question, what exactly is the right way to consume without affecting the nature? And why is it so important to protect and conserve our natural resources? So Gaurang and Garvita, if you both can take over this question. Gaurang, let's start with you.
Hi everyone, thanks Sanjana. I think it mainly lies in the mentality of people to start with, because if anyone wants to make a change, if they really want to do it, they'll for sure try to do it. And there's always a better way to do something, right? So if you think that you want to make a change but you're not sure, or you say you don't know how to do it, you can always look it up and find a way to do it. So it always starts off with your mentality, I think. And not going to specifics, but another thing is, like, when we're celebrating something like World Environment Day, which is global, I think it's important that not very few people take steps, because if a lot of people take one small step, it's way more impactful than one person taking like 3 or 4 steps to save the environment, right? So it's very beneficial if everyone participates and does their small contribution instead of we expecting only some people to take a lot of steps. Yeah, that's what I think.
Thank you, Gaurang. Garvita, would you like to add on to it?
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with everything that Gaurang said. And, just to elaborate on his point where he said so many environmental activists come out, take those steps, try to make those differences in their lives and the lives of people around them and those who they can impact. But, through um, this crisis, when every single person on the planet took one step, and that was just staying at home, we saw the drastic changes that the planet was able to go through. Ozone layers were coming back, the waters were clear, we could see the fishes again, and it was just really overwhelmingly wonderful to see the changes that actually occurred. And I really hope that that revival continues and we don't go back and revert into what we were. And even beyond that, I think another very important thing is your own mindset, which is the goal of Why Waste as well, to change the mindsets of people towards natural resources. Something very simple. If you just consciously realize the amount that you're consuming versus the amount that you actually need, there's so much of a difference. If you consciously tell yourself or ask yourself, do I need this much, or do I need more than this, or is this more than enough? Asking yourself that question every day is more than enough to make yourself a more conscious person. And finally, I think consumerism is something that has completely destroyed the planet. And something that I've been reflecting on a lot recently is, human beings are not a race who thinks they are the best, but they think that they deserve the best. And because we think that we deserve everything, we kind of go out there, and that builds all sorts of inequalities. So I think equality at every level, a lesser of a consume, like having a mindset, a more positive mindset, is something that we need for the future.
Thank you so much, Kavita. I think both of you put out beautiful points. So for our next question, we were talking, the theme of our today's webinar is how to be a change maker, and where can one start his or her journey to become a change maker? Gaurav and Akash, if you would like to take on this question. Let's start with Gaurav. Okay, let's start with Akash and Gaurav will join us. Any of you can start.
Yeah, so I think the first step would be to have the right mindset. Anybody can become a change maker if they think that, if they believe themselves that they're someone who can bring about some change, and they want to go out there and they're ready to work. Even if they don't get results immediately, they have the perseverance to work towards seeing some change in the society. Because usually social causes, they take some time before you get any traction with what you want to convey to the society. So if you have the patience to wait and keep doing what you want to do, then I think that would be something very important for a change maker.
Thank you so much, Gaurav. Akash, would you like to add on to it?
Yeah, so completely agree with what Gaurav said just now. Perseverance is a very big factor in being a change maker, but it's also important to understand that being a change maker is not just ideas, it's not just campaigns. You actually have to go out and affect change in your communities, in your local areas, and wherever your reach goes, you have to go there and act. Acting is way more important than planning. That's what I have believed in always. And the second very important part of being a change maker is that you don't make changes just externally. The changes are not restricted to being external, they are also internal. And that's something I've realized in the course of this 2 years of journey. So what happens is you keep learning, you keep growing as an individual while you are affecting change outside. So it's both an internal process and an external process, and it takes a long time. So as Gaurav said, you need perseverance. I think that pretty much sums it up.
Thank you so much, Akash. I think they both have beautifully told us how a person should start their journey to be a change maker. I think never give up. If you have a cause and you want to fight for it, don't ever give up on it, and do whatever it takes to make that happen, to bring that change, because after all, it's going to bring about a positive impact on the society. So I think both of you have beautifully told us. So, our next question to our panelists is, since technology is developing in a fast pace, how can digital platforms be used to raise awareness or bring about a change? Akshay, would you want to start?
Yeah, Sanjana. To work independently in our own houses, and the most easiest thing is the social media things. Like it's very easily approachable for the like it's very easily approachable for everyone. So one thing is that the content what we put should be more pleasing. Like instead of we telling that this is the thing, we should first see that if it is good enough for the people like us. Like, is it accepted by the youth like us? Because we usually have a thought in our mind telling that we should save resources, we should save for our future generations and all. But it shouldn't be just a thought. So it should move on in our actions as well. So coming to that thing, technology is being used very well in Byways. So we have a beautiful website design, and it's not just one person work. It's like entire team. For example, translating whatever we are doing to various other languages, and collaboration with NRI to have 10 cards placed across lakhs of restaurants today. So it's happening because it's okay. Like one guy is designing, like me and my team is designing, and Abhinandan, he's working on reaching out to thousands and lakhs of people. So it's a teamwork basically, but it's uh, it's majorly concentrating on like mindsets and the way how people react for our work.
We are, even in this lockdown situation, we are all connected via social media or platforms like that. So I think it's very important to use this platform to promote our cause and to spread awareness about it, because you see we need to adapt to the changing world. And one thing which I really like about social media is, like, after I joined social media, we had people from all parts of India, people from Delhi, Assam, Jaipur, texting us saying that they really want to contribute to the cause, they want to join, they want to help, volunteer, and which I think wouldn't have been feasible if we were just doing it on our own or by spoken word or something like that. So it's really easy to connect with people via social media. And also, like, we are bringing out points, like we have different ways to bring out our cause and to pinpoint at certain things. Like Garvat has said that you need to be very conscious, you need to tell people that these are the numbers, these are the facts. So via social media, you just put those things out there, and the people who are genuinely interested and care about the cause, they approach you, and then you really build upon that relation and then bring something positive out of it.
Thank you so much, Abhinandan. I think technology is one of our strongest tools right now, and we need to use it to our best potential to spread awareness or to bring about a change. And I think uh, Akshay and Abhinandan on our team are doing a fabulous job in that. Let's move on. Right now, we know we are going has lives at a standstill. So, due to this pandemic, people are forced to stay at home. So, how can people join hands in protecting our earth and nature by just staying at home? Like, since everyone has been confined to home, how can they start off bringing about small changes by through their house or with their families from home itself? Neil, request you to give your views on that.
Hi, Sanjana. Thanks for adding me here. So, let me first actually bring in the point that Garvita put forward earlier about consumerism. So, the issue is that as we start building over the consumerism aspect of it, we are taking in more than what we require, and that is actually causing a lot more issues than any other stuff. Now, many a times we can see that there are people who will be traveling by vehicles that's causing pollution, and there are people who live in apartments. They choose to, because they have 24 hours of water supply, they choose to utilize it as much. We can see that even though we require, say, a minimum of a minute or a half a minute of water usage for just basic stuff like brushing your teeth, people tend to spend 10 minutes, 15 minutes, which is, it's wasting a lot more water than what is actually necessary. And the second thing I would like to talk about is the difference between the wants that we have and what we need in general. And this pandemic has actually created the difference for us. Now that we can't really go out that much, we are actually just focusing on the things that we need rather than the things that we want. And because of this difference, we're actually converting, like going back to the time when consumerism wasn't that big an issue and the whole world survived on the basis of what I actually need for the moment rather than, oh yeah, I think I should hoard this stuff for later on so that I can use it. But at the same time, when you do that, you're actually going to be cutting out someone else's supply, and that becomes an issue where here we are able to use 24 hours of water. There's some long distance to get that water. And I think what we can do is for the future as well, we can try and make sure to reduce these differences and you know continue living this way that we are right now rather than jumping back to normalcy where we just start hoarding everything and start living the way we used to say 3 4 months back. Richa, would you like to add on to this?
Thank you, Neil. Yes, Richa, please give your views.
Yes. Uh, I think, yeah, Neil beautifully put it across that we need to like kind of there's a very fine line between your wants and your needs, and it's very important to find like that, that perfect sweet spot where and I'll just suggest very like common and like basic things that you can do at home, which I think probably even school kids know, but we as adults forget to follow. Like composting at home, easy, nothing, you just don't need like much, you just need like a pot and just all your wet waste, just go dump it there and make sure that you have like enough leaf and a little bit of soil, and you can just have your own manure ready, and then you can plant more trees or not trees, sorry, plant like plants. And a lot of people have started home gardening, like for example my mom herself just started, and we have like mint leaves at home, we have coriander leaves at home, and it's very important, like these small steps. And then again, segregate your waste, that's very important. Again, I know it's very difficult for us to like, we depend on certain people to carry our waste and like go dump them in like landfills and everything, so it's very important you segregate it proper. Plastic that remains in the soil can be so harmful, and it's the things that even plants choke on and they are not able to live. And adapt to a zero waste lifestyle. If you don't need, I can understand, again, as Anil pointed out, consumerism, you have so much of plastic lying around at home because you buy in so much and you hoard in so much at home, you don't even need that. And as Neil pointed out, this is the time when we realize that we are very self-sufficient in that way. We don't need things from outside. People have started like baking at home, people have started making all the things at home which they depended on and bought things from outside. And it's something that those things, and that helps the farmers also to an extent. So you're kind of, it's a whole ecosystem that is formed. So you're helping farmers, you're cooking at home, and all these things. And then again, when you're talking about protecting the planet, next point is consume less energy. Whenever you're not using like your AC or fan, just switch it off. It's not very hard. I mean, even for me, my dad is the one who will just be like, your light is on, your fan is on. And it's, I think even those milliseconds that you leave it on for can make a huge difference, because someone, because if you're what do you say, because you're not aware enough, someone, because of you, suffering in some other place. So it's very important to do that. And then again, as Neil pointed out, use less water. And it finally comes down to the choices that you make in your life. It's not that I feel like I learned back in school. My sister will be learning, like she learned when she was in her like second grade and third grade, and she'd come home excited and be like, yeah, composting, this is how you do it, we were taught this. But then as adults, we just completely forget. We're just like, yeah, okay, whatever. It's not an very important to like make the right choices, and then that's all as. And again, I would like to cover Goran's point where he says that like instead of taking like many steps, take like very very small steps. And people taking small steps, like imagine all if you just stop like generating wet waste and you compost it at home, then imagine the amount of like a reduction that is there. Imagine one apartment, like in my apartment they do composting here, like all our wet waste is here, so nothing goes to the landfill for that matter, like no wet waste goes. So that way we're saving on so much, and taking these small mini steps can just make a huge difference. So yeah, that's what I feel.
Beautifully said, Richa and Neil. I think we society, I think both of them have beautifully told how you can just start off like right now. I think all it takes is just a small pot, a small seed, and you can just grow a plant and say, yes, I'm a change maker today. So I think that's beautifully put up. The next question is, due to right now, since the pandemic is going on, due to excess washing of hands, we are consuming a lot of water, and it is necessary too. We cannot avoid washing of hands. So, can you suggest a few ways in which you can conserve water now and also post the whole pandemic? Garvita, we can start with you.
Yeah, sure. Um, so, uh, so what I want to say is, and I think this started coming into play in the beginning of the pandemic. That a lot of times, and actually there was a study done on this as well, and there was a lot of articles published that the amount of water that is being consumed because of the pandemic is actually going to lead the war over water and things like that. And that actually did happen in Chennai last year when people did not have the access to water. But again, it's very important for us to notice that the war was actually happening in places where people were not privileged enough to get a genuine access to water, where they had to fight to get water out of either one single tank or out of buckets. And it was weird. You could see them screaming at each other, and that's the whole problem. And if you need water from the seas and kind of use that, but again, if you look at it, it's only the privileged people who can afford that water who will be able to use it. And then again, even if we do come up with a solution which is, let's say, cheaper, it then you have another inequality that comes into play, which is that only coastal countries will have access to this water, and countries that are more inland will not have access to it. So the relation between sustainability, inequalities is very deep rooted and driven. And when you look at water in the future, or when you look at water as a resource of how I'm going to consume it, you really look at a lot more aspects. In fact, I would say that all of the 17 SDGs are in some way interconnected to each other, and that's why we actually drive all of them together towards the one goal for a global sustainable world. But again, it's very easy for us to maybe change one habit, but say, okay, because I'm using less water, I'm going to throw plastic, or I'm going to use plastic. That's not how it works. When you are trying to grow and trying to make a difference, you cannot do one thing and just leave out the other thing. So yeah, I think it's very important for all of us to ensure that we look into all respects at once. I hope that answers your question, Sanjana. Let me know if you want me to add anything more.
I think that was some beautiful views. Richa, would you want to add on something?
Yes, I feel like Garvita has answered and covered most of the points. But then again, Sanjana has been a huge promoter of saving 100 liters of water, and we have a module on our website. You guys can check it out. I'll put the link in the comments. But again, there also we have very simple and easy ideas, like I mentioned in my previous questions, very simple ideas that like it, it's there right in front of you. It's just that you choose to ignore it because you're just like, okay, I don't want to go that extra mile, and it's not even an extra mile. It's just that maybe, like as you said, washing your hands. A lot of people just leave the tap running. A lot of times I've seen people just leave it running because they're applying soap, but that's not an excuse again that you're going to come up with. Just close the tap. How hard is it? Because at the end of the day, you can just turn it on again and wash your hands, and that's all. I think like just because like we have been told that 20 seconds you have to wash doesn't mean the tap has to be running for that 20 seconds. You can just switch it on, maybe just like apply soap and just turn it off. And again, at home also conserving water in the sense of your aqua guards is something that you have at home. Just reuse those waters even when you're washing your veggies at home. Just take that water and maybe nutritional value. Honestly, we will not have the soil and all of that, but we clean it because we want to remove all of that. But all those minerals and stuff are very useful to plants again. So if you have like coriander or curry leaves or something you buy, and you just like even at home, like my mom does this, she takes like all the aquaguard water and then she will wash her veggies, and then a little bit clean water also, and all that water she doesn't throw away, she'll just put it in the pot. And that I feel like forms like a huge ecosystem, as she says. She loves saying it. She's like, this forms like a huge ecosystem, and that is very true, because it's up to you to like come up with like new and creative ideas and do such things. And again, like from our module, if I can talk, like at restaurants, that's like our prime focus area. Like whatever water is left, like use it for sweeping, mopping, but don't overwater them. That's also very important. But honestly, we're at a point where even plants are not getting enough water. So if you have like plants at home, just water it with the thing. Like if you're not able to finish your glass of water, instead of putting it in the sink, put it in like a pot that is there, or collect it in a bucket, just separately, so that you can use that later. And like these are the small things. And then again, like when you're like taking a bath, if you don't like, honestly, like my sister will be the one telling me, because sometimes I just like zone out and this thing, and that's something I'm very ashamed of. But yeah, I have also tried my best to like not use like too much water. So these are the small things that you can do right now, and these make like a huge impact like later. And as Garvita said, you can't like do one thing. So now just because you're like, yeah, I'm saving water, so I will get home a lot of plastic because I've done my good deed for the day. That's not how it works. You're supposed to do like everything. All these small things matter at the end of the day. And yeah, I think that's what I feel. Do you want me to
Yeah, and just to add on
add
to
on
what,
anything?
yeah, I think it has to be a holistic approach. I think that's what we're
Yes,
trying.
yeah.
You can't just do one thing. And to add on to the modules. So our modules, and Richa, I'll let you say more about this as well. So we have 3 very cool modules which are available for free on our website. It's the How to Save 100 Liters of Water Every Day module. Then there's the Restaurant module, and there's the DIY module. So the How to Save 100 Liters of Water Day is actually a product of this intensive research that we conducted last year. We had almost 750 people participate in this research, where we assessed their daily water consumption habits, and then we came out with a bunch of solutions to actually help people conserve water in the simplest ways possible. And then, we also have the DIY modules, which is, creating your own version of Y Waste anywhere in the world, and they're available in more than 20 languages. And finally, the restaurant modules, which focus on restaurants and how they can conserve water in the entire ecosystem, as Richard's mom says. So, Richard, let me talk a little bit more about the modules.
Yes, like the DIY module, as Garita has covered everything. It's the whole idea is anybody like in their own city, if they feel that they're not able to connect with us, they can just go to the resources page, read up about it. And it's just like taking like these small steps, probably write us a mail saying, hey, I approached a restaurant today and they're up for your idea. What can we do? We have our own tent cards. I mean, Neil has, you can contact Neil. You can like everyone's contact is there on our website. I think that's like your go-to for everything. And just contact them, just tell us that, hey, I approached a restaurant today, or can like I want to work with you. And that's all. At the end of the day, what we're going to tell you is follow these are like our 3 like bibles. Then the 100 liter, like save how to save 100 liters. That is, I mean, these are very, as Garvita said, there was intensive research, but at the end of the day we came to the final conclusion that these are things we knew but we chose to ignore. And then when we talk about our toolkit, also the DIY module, again, they are very like simple. It's just how you can like go to a restaurant, how you can approach them. Your restaurant module is everything. Like the DIY module just is a step-by-step procedure. Like first, if you go to the restaurant, what you do, what you're supposed to do, what's your homework at your end, what are you going to do if like if you're going to contact the manager, how you're supposed to book an appointment, and how you can approach us. We have forms, you have everything. It just covers everything. And the restaurant module is like extensively about how you can save water at a restaurant. What are some methods? So again, these are two interlinked modules. So in your DIY module, you're supposed to go through your restaurant module just to know ways that you can suggest to the manager as to how the restaurant can save water. So again, all of these things are very interlinked, and these are things that but you don't. So yeah, just like go through it. We have our resources page for that. And I mean, I'd love to brief what I could tell you about the modules. I mean, you can just go to our website. I will put the link in the comments immediately, and you can just go through it. But yeah, I think that's it. Sanjana, I'm not going to take more of your time. Please go ahead.
Thank you so much, guys. I think those ideas, those simple ideas were beautiful, and I think I love these ideas. So, all our viewers, now you know where you can go and check out our toolkits. Richa will give the link in the comment section, and you can go right now or after this webinar and check out our website, check all our toolkits, see the amazing work this beautiful team is doing also. And I think you will enjoy it and you would definitely want to work with us. And you can reach out to any of us on the team, and we'll be more than happy to help you and guide you on how you can be a change maker and how you can conserve water from starting from today itself, because it's a great occasion, and you can start off your journey to be a change maker. So our next question is actually a very important question. Right now, since the pandemic is going on, a lot of students are stressed out about education and about exams and what their future holds. So, how can they stay positive during this time, and how can they also stay confident, and how can they be positive during these times? So, any of our panelists can talk about it. Abhinandan, would you like to give your views on this?
Hi. Yeah. So, talking about the pandemic, and actually, I struggled through this for a while because of exams and everything upcoming, because we are really uncertain if our exams are going to happen or not. And then, I am like, should I study or should I not study? So, all these things are going on. And I was going through a rough patch. Like, I was like very low, and then I was stuck in the house, everything. But I think that the only thing which motivated me is, see, like, the pandemic is not in my hands. I can't control the situation, and it's happening for literally everyone across the world. What you can control is what you do. So, I am just taking small measures, like, exercising for a while, doing this. I stick to a routine. And, like, it also has a lot of, leisure time. I use Netflix and everything. I've been not asking you to, like, study completely or do everything or be extremely productive. Like, this is not a race, where you have to compete that I've done these things over the course of the lockdown, or I've baked like 10 cakes or something like that. Just keep keep going, keep pushing yourself. And this is what you can do, because 3 months later, after everything's normal, and if my exams come and if I do them miserably, so I shouldn't regret that, during the pandemic or during the lockdown situation, I had like 3 months in my hand. Why didn't I just sit and study, or why didn't I do this? So I just would like to say this to everybody, which I always say, that whatever you do, it's your choice, but make sure that you don't regret it later. Right now you have the time, you have the resource of them, so that down the lane you don't regret that you could have done this. Like, that thing shouldn't be there. And that is something which you're really positive about. If you do something useful throughout the day, if you're productive, then that does create a positive impact. You feel good about yourself, you feel that, okay, I've had a nice day, let's do this, let's do that. Otherwise it's just negativity and all of that.
True, absolutely. Thank you, Abhinandan. Gaurang, can you add on to this?
No, honestly, I think Nandu covered everything I could have wanted to say. Just work on yourself and learn something new, pick up a new habit. You have quite a long time, so stick to a routine, create something new for yourself. I too actually started learning stuff this summer. Like, first couple of weeks, I too was stuck at home and didn't really do anything. I was sleeping a lot, was watching too much TV perhaps, and now I've started like slowly, working on myself, and it actually makes you feel good. At the end of the day, when you go to sleep, you look back at the day and you think, hey, you actually did something productive. And you feel better about yourself, and not only that, it motivates you to continue working on yourself for the next day, right? So yeah, just stick to working on yourself, and I think make that a routine, and you'll be good.
Thank you, Gaurang. Any of our other panelists who want to add their views?
Yeah, Sanjana, I just wanted to share one thing.
Yes.
I know, we all here come from a place of privilege where we, have a roof on top of our heads through this crisis, but there are a lot of people who don't. Firstly, my heart goes out to all of them. But if you sitting at home in any way can help them, please try to. But at the same time, remember, if you haven't been able to do something, that's also okay, because this is just a messy situation for all of us. It's been quite a year.
Garvita, anybody else? Since we all are like really young people, I think we connect more to students of all age. So I think we can, any other panelists would want to add on? Okay.
I will
Yes.
add on a little bit. Yes.
Yes.
I think yeah, I agree with Abhinandan. It's not just like sticking to plan, like just even like not doing multiple things, but like picking up this one thing that maybe in the past you're just like, I wanted to do it, I didn't have time. I don't think that's an excuse now. And you can actually do things that, like, I feel like the internet is just filled with resources for you. It just like left up, it's up to you to go and explore it. And you have the time, you have like, I mean, even like spending 1 hour per day will make you, as Gaurang said, it'll make you feel really good about yourself, because you'll just be like, hey, I learned something new, and this is something I've been wanting to do for a long time. And if you like, yeah, just inculcate that one habit and, take it with you. And apart from that, yes, it was very like hard for us to accept this whole situation. I mean, initially it was like a vacation, and then it just became the worst nightmare. Alternatives, stay in touch with your friends, stay in touch with family. Don't forget, just because like you're at home and they're at home, it's not compulsory that they have to contact you. My friend is not contacted me, I'm not going to call them or something. Just like reach out to your friends, reach out to friends from school, reach out to friends from, like your childhood that you're not in touch with, and that or automatically impacts your mood so positively that you just feel really good about yourself, and that your day goes really well. So doing like these small things, like maybe like connect a lot with your family. Maybe some of you have stayed and studied outside, and now that you're back home, connect with your family, play games, like maybe have like movie night or do something fun. And like doing like these small things really impact your mood, and I feel like a lot of us would have noticed. And as Gavita said, like not all of us come from a place of privilege, but a lot of us, whoever are, I mean, if you're only going to be misusing it, I mean, what example are you setting for the rest? And people who aren't, yeah, privileged enough, try to help them out also, because people are they're doing really like doing good for the people. And you can join like an initiative, and whatever, like maybe in your area your apartment is doing something or your colony is doing something, join in, help them. And like these small things can automatically like not only utilize your time, but you go to sleep like feeling good about yourself, and that's very important. So yeah, that's me.
Thank you so much, Richa. So I think just to sum up what all of them have told, stay positive. I think keep your mental health in a really good place, because that's very important. And there is, don't be afraid to ask for help, and just enjoy with your family, because it's a new. We are going to be going into a new normal after this pandemic, and we'll be starting a new phase in our lives. So until then, just stay really positive and just keep spending a lot of time with your family, and don't stress too much about exams, because that is not a very big thing. But your mental health is, and how you stay calm and how you keep yourself fit is even more important. So yeah, about that question. So moving on to our last question, since today we are celebrating World Environment Day, and we have these amazing change makers with us, and you guys, all of you have given so much to the world. What has been your experience being a change maker, and what was your experience like at Y Waste? So we'll take views from all of you. Let's start with Gaurav.
So at Y Waste, what I learned, I mean, rather my experience was, at first I joined because, I was in first year of my college and I didn't have a lot of stuff going. So I'm like, maybe, give this a try as well. So that was my honest first intention when I joined Y Waste. But then, as we started working with everybody and seeing how everybody was, I think it was an amazing experience. Got to learn a lot of stuff. I found out that I'm good at public speaking also because of Y Waste, because I was asked to do a few seminars and stuff. And yeah, so that's what it is.
Thank you, Gaurav. Gaurang, can you give your views on how it has been with Y-Ways so far?
Yes, it's honestly been an incredible experience. I really like writing and I got to pursue that a lot at Waste. Waste gave me the opportunity to write a lot. And it's really fun, really enjoy it. And also meet a lot of people, learn a lot about the world and how we're supposed to protect it and things like that. It just makes you a better person, makes you feel better about yourself.
Thank you, Gaurang. Akash.
So my experience has been really nice. I have been working as first as the organizer of UWC, which is Urban Water Challenge, and then after that I was made the collaborations head. So it has been a very profound experience, and also I have, as Gaurav said correctly, like you discover a lot of things about yourself. So one thing I realized is that I got to learn a lot of things, first of all, by organizing events, and second, I got organizing who will do all that. So yeah, that's basically something which Y West has helped me to discover. I think it has been pretty much very nice. And do join us, guys. Reach out to every one of us, because we are really eager to help you move forward. And it's also a transformative experience. So hop on the train.
Thank you, Akash. Akshay, how has it been being a change maker and being a part of Y-Ways so far?
Okay, first thing, I'll be really proud when someone just put a picture in the group telling that the 10 cards are soon in this refuge. So that's one thing. Second thing, when we were recognized as the India's largest youth-led movement, I'm like, yo, I'm the part of it. So every small milestones give us the new turn, new direction, new experience and all. So right now in Y Waste, I have learned so much, from just designing the posters till designing websites, or managing too much of technical stuff and all those things. So I'm really proud that I'm a part of this team, and I'm really happy to contribute a bit from my side.
Thank you so much, Akshay. Richa. Richa, can you hear me?
So
Yeah.
yes, I can. So apart from that, I feel after learning about how much like water was wasted, I feel a lot of us were not aware. I took it upon myself to like educate everyone. Even if I go out, I just tell my friends. And I came across as a bully a lot of times. People would just be like, like she's a bully, and like my juniors were scared of me whenever I went out with them, because I'd be like, finish your water. And slowly, but people understand, because the next time you go out with them, they just, even just to show me, they finish the water. And that makes a huge difference, because it's that they remember, maybe the next time they go out with their friends, they remember. Even if they don't tell, maybe they'll take it back with themselves to like finish that water. So I think those are like small things that have been like very wholesome. And the entire experience, like as Akshay was telling about, like these small milestones that we achieve as a team, it's just such a what do you say, warming experience, because you're just, everyone has put in their effort, and everyone, I mean, I won't say like has put in, like they have put in, like a lot of us put in our blood and sweat to like get through like certain things, like even to put across like a small like homeschooling webinar. Like a lot of us, like here today, like Gaurav is like slogging his like he's there on one screen, he's trying to like control the webinar, and then he's also like speaking. So I think these are like small things. And like the entire experience is just like so overwhelming, but so like fulfilling, that at the end of the day, like you have no regrets, like you're just a lot of like people approach me these are people who come from a very very experienced field, but for them to like resonate with such movements is just a huge thing. And the amount of impact that they can bring in our organization is also like very important. So I think at the end of the day, like even if you're changing like the mindset of like 4 to 5 people, like even like yearly or something. You're just That's a huge difference, because like that's like a chain reaction. It passes on, and everyone at the end of the day is just resonates with your idea. And I think that's been the best part of being a change maker, I feel.
Thank you, Richa. Neil, let's hear your views.
Well, to be honest, when I started out at YWaste, it was a very new experience, something new to learn, something new to try, and it just started as a roller coaster ride, to be honest, where I jumped from one task to another, to another, to another, and it just kept going on until finally I reached one place where I'm actually very happy to be, where I get to interact with so many new people, talk to them, learn from them, and as well as reach out to them in new ways to see how our organization is spreading across. And like Kanive actually said before, that it's amazing to actually read these restaurants, seeing that there are people who are working really hard to get our message out there, and then seeing these big milestones being reached. It actually makes me feel really glad to be a part of this organization and help a cause which is really important, and at the same time it's uh, very nice. Nice won't be the right word. More like it's amazing to be a part of this organization. Is all I can say. Actually, I'm completely at a loss of words now.
Thank you, Neil. Garvita.
Sanjana, do you want to go before I say something?
Okay, Abhinandan, let's finish off with you and then
Yeah,
I'll
let's have
bring on you.
Abhinandan and then you and
Yeah,
then Vidya as well.
yes, yes, definitely.
I actually thought you guys forgot me. So
No,
So yeah, talking about being a change maker, like when you do something like that, I feel that I'm doing something like selfless. You work towards a cause, you put in your efforts, and that makes you feel really good. You're putting your efforts into something really nice, and moreover, like it's just a very good feeling for me. Whenever I work for Y Waste or for anything, like even in college, we work towards a cause, we help something with CSR activities with Change Maker Society or anything. It gives a very nice feeling. At the end of the day, I feel very relieved. Okay, so it makes me feel really good. And another thing about my Y Waste journey, like via Yways, it has been a very different approach. Like I came across so many people who are experienced in so many fields. Like we are working towards water conservation, and there are people who are working in different domains, and they are so knowledgeable, so experienced. And I got to interact with them, network with them. Like I don't think I would have gotten that opportunity elsewhere or otherwise. And as being a youth member, as being a young college student, and doing this, I find it really nice when people around me tell me that like because of the way we deliver things or because of the way we set examples, they feel motivated because we are able to connect with them. So it helps, like it really makes me feel really nice when someone comes and tells that, yeah, we were able to connect with you during your seminar, we got your gist and your way of seeing things. Like we as the youngsters see the issue in a different way and put it out in front of others in a different manner, so that people can connect with us and all of that. It makes me feel really nice. And as then we went out, and then I also started doing it with my friends. So that is how it starts. Like we have a new innovative ways to conserve water and stop water from being wasted. So yeah, that's how it starts.
thank you, Abhinandan. Just about the point he just told that Richa started, like she forced Abhinandan to finish the classes. So the whole thing about this team is everyone is so inspiring that wherever the whole team goes, it definitely changes the mindset of whoever they talk to. And personally, for me, from the day I joined Byways till now, it's been a beautiful journey, and I've been inspired by all these amazing change makers, and all of them just inspire me so much, and I learn so much from them. And it's just been amazing with all of them. I still remember the day Garvita was like, would you want to join Y Waste and would you want to start a city chapter in your locality? And I'm, without even a second's hesitation, I'm like, yes, of course, because after all, we are doing something great for our world and trying to make it a better place so that our future generations don't have to go through any bad of it and they can live a better life. So I think Y-Waste has been a great platform for me personally to grow and at the same time to inspire others or give my views to others, to just tell people that, you have to be a change maker so that you can see the world grow and you can see the planet a bit more green and contribute as much as you can to society. So I think By Waste was an amazing team.
A lot of things, I know that, but my heart is just really full right now to just hear all of this, because you guys are like family now. And I know Kanive has said this a lot of times, that it feels like we're a part of a family, and that's why none of us can ever leave this in any form. And I'm just so grateful to all of you for being such wonderful change makers and allowing for that to happen. I think when I started out almost 5 years ago, I did not even think that I would be able to reach one restaurant, let alone build India's with such a wonderful team, build India's largest youth-led movement conserving water. So I think it's just very overwhelming and grateful, and I'm very grateful for this experience, and that I get to share it with such wonderful people like you all, who where we allow each other to just kind of do what we love, but at the same time also ensure that we're doing something wonderful for the world. I think Y Waste to me has always been a place where I just get to create the change that I've always wanted to see with people that I love. And I think that is the best part about it. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say. I don't have anything more to say.
Thank you so much, Kalpita. I think all of us here can agree that till now, Y Waste has been working really hard to change the mindsets of the society, and little by little, one step at a time, I'm sure that we'll be able to conserve a lot of water and protect all of our natural resources. So as we come to an end to this webinar, I would like to thank all our panelists for being with us here today. And it's been a great webinar. Thank you so much to all of you for giving out your views on various topics and for inspiring the world and for talking about why waste and how to be a change maker. I would take a moment to thank all our COVID warriors, the doctors, the nurses, the staff members, our policemen, all the people who are providing essentials. A big thank you to all of you for fighting this battle endlessly. And also a big thanks to all of those who are staying at home following the government regulations, who are wearing masks, who are maintaining social distancing. You guys are warriors too. And together we can fight this virus, and we can start a new phase in our life, can start a new journey post this COVID. And I think, and I hope all our viewers who are watching today can turn into amazing change makers and can join this battle to protect our environment. So I hope we all can take a pledge today to protect our earth, which is the one thing that is common amongst all of us, and to make it a lots more green, so that we can fight for it and we can stay happily together as one community. So a big thank you to all of you, and have a good day.
Thank you, Sanjana.
Thank you. Happy birthday, Richa.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Richa.
Happy birthday, Richa.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think it's yet to get over.
Okay, yeah, schooling. This was a special one, like we said in the beginning, and we have a lot more coming up. So stay tuned. And to anyone out there who wants to be a change maker, like Sanjana said, there's no better day than today to start your journey. So go out there and do it. Build a wonderful team like we have, and you just never know what can happen.
Thank you so much. Gaurav, if you can let me know about the stream.